Are you putting in the work on your weight loss journey but not getting the results that you expected? Are you wondering if you're doing something wrong or if there's something else you should add to what you're doing in order to get better and faster results? If you've ever wondered what a pro would advise you or would even do herself in this scenario, then you're in luck, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly what I would do if I were putting in the work to get weight loss results and not happy with the results that I'm getting. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Concita Thomas. I'm a food and fitness strategist. I help women over 40 lose 30 plus pounds and keep it off without diets or excessive exercise. And part of how I do that is to help them manage the process. That's right, weight loss is a process. There will be ups and downs and even some turns along the road. And I help them not only know how to eat, know how to move, but manage the process and the emotions that are involved in this process of losing weight, not just losing it, but losing it in a way that is sustainable and in a way that sets you up to keep it off for good. And so I'm inspired to make this video because I've had this conversation several times. This is a conversation that I have all the time, because inevitably people start on their weight loss journey and they want to do it the sustainable way. I know I've gone through the same thing. And while they're prepared to put in the work, they're very much conditioned to the results that more aggressive programs have given in the past. And even if they are willing to settle in for possibly a different rate of results, let's just face it, many of us are A+ students. We are used to studying, doing what needs to be done, and getting that validation of the A+ or the result that we want. And unfortunately, when it comes to sustainable weight loss, it doesn't always work like that. So managing the meantime between when you start and when you get your result and when you're fully convinced that this is working for you is a skill, and it can be learned. So let's dive into the first thing that I would do if I felt like I was putting in the work, but I was not getting the result that I want. Number one is I would check my consistency. Many times we overestimate how consistent we're being. So if for the last 2 or 3 days we've been really consistent, we feel like we've been really consistent. And so what I would do is I would look at my consistency over a length of time, at least 2 weeks, but ideally even longer than that. So I want to look for how consistent I've been and how long I've been consistent. In terms of how consistent I've been, if I have not been doing what it is that I've committed to do, whatever is part of my process, I call them daily commitments with my clients, for at least 5 out of 7 days of the week, then I would not count that as a consistent week. And then if I have been doing my daily commitments for at least 5 out of 7 days of the week, I will look back and see for how many weeks have I been doing that. A lot of times we feel like we're not getting the result that we desire, that we feel that we've earned for the work we've put in, because our consistency is spotty. Either it's not true consistency within the week, or we have a consistent week followed by a not so consistent week followed by 2 consistent weeks. And it really takes diligence over time to see the type of results that make you feel like, wow, this is working for me. The second thing I would do is I would check my expectations. And in terms of expectations, I would check both my expectations of how fast I would get results and my measures of success. So again, oftentimes when we finally come to the conclusion that we want to lose weight the sustainable way, we are very used to the rapid results of the rigid approach. So we go into things, maybe even if we say we don't have an expectation of how fast we're going to lose this weight, we're willing to do whatever it takes, we just want to embrace the process. Even though we say that, in the back of our mind, we have some type of number, some type of range. So it is oftentimes the misalignment between that unspoken expected pace of results and what we're seeing that causes the dissatisfaction. So I would get really honest with myself about what I was expecting to see in terms of how fast I was expecting to lose the weight. And then I would look at my measures of success. How am I measuring success? If the only thing that I'm measuring success by is the number on the scale, that's a trap, and it's very easy to be disappointed, because very often we will see all types of other signs and wonders, I'll just call them, in terms of success, before we'll see consistent and significant drops on the scale. You may notice things like your rings being looser, your clothes being looser, clothes that used to be tight fitting well, clothes that used to fit well starting to be way too loose, going down a dress size, appearing different in pictures, your face being slimmer, not having as much bloat, whether it be in your fingers or your arms, your legs, or your ankles. So you really want to pay attention to things outside of the scale, because if you only have one measure of success, how quickly or how much the scale is going down, it could be really easy to be unhappy with your results, because the scale is going to do what the scale is going to do. It may not always cooperate. It may not always drop in the way that you expect it to. But if you have other measures of success that you are tracking and that you are paying attention to, it's a lot easier to see that you are indeed getting results. And it's a lot easier to lock in and continue the journey when you know that it's paying off. Number 3, this one is really important. I would check my capacity. I would check my capacity to do more. Now, we often come to the sustainable weight loss approach after several other attempts at losing weight. We normally do more rigid approaches. We lose the weight, we gain it, we lose the weight, we gain it, we throw up our hands and we say, okay, I surrender. I'm going to do the sustainable weight loss approach. And oftentimes we do that because either we've come to a place in our life in terms of our age, or just in our awareness of what we're willing to do and not do, what we're willing to give up and not give up. So if indeed I passed the consistency check, I've discovered that I have been really consistent. I have been consistent over a length of time. I was looking at multiple markers of success, and it was true that I was unhappy with the pace of how things were going in light of measuring more than one thing and being consistent. Then I would ask myself, well, what more are you willing to do? Here's the thing, and I call this often the tension to be managed. And a lot of my work as a coach is holding space for my clients as they manage this tension. There's the tension between wanting to do things in a sustainable way and not taking a rigid approach that makes you miserable and wanting to see quick results. Oftentimes, I have clients that will get relatively quick results while taking a sustainable approach. But every now and then I will get clients who have to manage that tension, because as long as they're doing things in a sustainable way, they see slow, steady progress. And there's the temptation to be frustrated because they know that quick progress, rapid results are available right over here. And so what I would do if I found myself stuck managing that tension is I would go in the middle ground and reevaluate, what is my capacity. Maybe there are things that I said that I would be unwilling to do, actions that I was unwilling to take, or items that I was unwilling to limit or to restrain myself from having as frequently in the beginning. And just possibly my perspective has changed. That happens all the time. It happened with me on my weight loss journey, and I've witnessed it happen with several of my clients. Maybe they were totally unwilling to, stop drinking soda, but they were willing to go from 4 cans a day to 2. And now they really don't like soda, but they're drinking it out of habit. So that's something that they can renegotiate with themselves to manage that tension between wanting to do things in a sustainable, enjoyable way and wanting to see faster results. So making concessions, making aligned trade-offs, not misaligned sacrifices, but aligned trade-offs. Being willing to take action that maybe before you weren't willing to take, or being willing to be more moderate with food items that maybe before you weren't willing to be moderate with, in exchange for the trade-off is slightly faster results. All right, I've got more where that came from, but I want to hear from you in the comments first. What do you do when you feel like you're putting in the work and you're not getting the results that you want? Let me know in the comments below. Let's join in the conversation. Number 4, I would grieve my expectations. If it turns out that I go through 1, 2, and 3, and when I evaluate my capacity, it becomes clear to me that I'm doing as much as I'm willing to do. I'm taking as much action as I'm willing to take. I'm being as moderate as I'm willing to be. And my body's feedback is, this is the pace of results in exchange for that effort. And it's a pace that's not as quick as I would like. If I decided that I'm not going to make any aligned trade-offs, this is my line in the sand, this is what I'm willing to do, then I would go ahead and grieve my expectations. It is okay. Maybe you didn't say them out loud, but if they were in the back of your mind and you don't get them, it's a loss. Whether we consider it one or not, it is a loss. So I would give myself time to grieve my expectations, to just come to terms with the fact that I am not going to get results any faster because I'm equally committed to keeping the results as I am to getting the results. I'm equally committed to enjoying the journey and not being miserable as I am to getting the results. And I would give myself a little bit of time to reconcile that and to grieve that loss. Because trying to just push down those emotions and pretend like it's okay and pretend like that expectation wasn't there and bypassing the grief process is really like trying to carry a ball and chain through your weight loss process. It's like riding a bike uphill with the brakes engaged, because you will continue to lament and mention and be unsatisfied over the fact that things aren't happening faster. You will continue to feel that. You will continue to verbalize that. And you will miss out on what's actually happening and the blessing that's right in front of you, which is you are doing what you are willing to do. You have found a process that is sustainable, that is indeed giving you results, albeit slower than you'd hope, but you are no longer making misaligned sacrifices. You are doing exactly what it is that you're willing to do, and you are getting the results that you desired, even if they're not as fast as you'd like them to be. All right, then my fifth and final tip is I would focus on and embrace and celebrate the becoming. Here's what I mean. There are certain internal changes, mental and emotional changes that happen on an identity level when you settle in. So often, the reason why we lose weight and gain it right back is because we maybe change the outside, but it happens really quick. It's a flash in the pan, and there is no true transformation, internal transformation that takes place. Our identity isn't upgraded or refined, which is why it's so easy to revert to those old habits and to gain the weight right back. However, if you're going through a sustainable weight loss journey and things are going potentially slower than you'd like, or even if they're going at a regular pace, but you're not getting these whiplash results and you're having to stay in process for longer than you've had to stay in process before, there are changes that are going to happen on the habit level. You're going to have different habits. Over time, you're going to have different preferences. Over more time, you are going to see yourself differently, which is what I call identity change. You will have different expectations for yourself. You will be taking action and eating moderately, not because of the result that you're trying to get from it, but because of who you've become. And it's that transformation that is not only going to make your results inevitable, but it's going to make your results sustainable. And that has always been the missing piece all along. That's been the specific thing that has made it so easy in the past to lose weight and to gain it right back. And you are actually fixing the true core root of the problem, even if it doesn't feel good initially. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope you have enjoyed this. I know this one was like one hard pill to swallow. I even went back and forth about whether or not I was going to record it, but I tell you what, friend, I'm committed to telling you the truth. I have not helped so many people, including myself, get results by not telling the truth. So this is the truth. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. You can follow me over on Instagram. I am there daily, either in my stories or on my feed or both. So you can keep up with the behind the scenes of how I actually pull this stuff off in my own life. If you want a front row seat to how that happens. You can also listen to my podcast over on iTunes or pretty much anywhere that podcasts are played. I have over 100 episodes over there. And then if you want support, you want direct personal contact, you want someone to help you walk through this process of not only getting the weight off, but keeping the weight off and having that true transformation, then I invite you to check out my signature program, Get It Off, Keep It Off one-on-one coaching. That program is all about exactly what I've been talking about here in that video. And I would love to chat with you to find out how I can help you. And so the link to apply for that program is below. All right, fierce friend, that's all I have for today. Until next time, stay fierce.